Very good choice.
The Fish Who Couldn't Swim. Created and written by Taylor Brandon. In the ocean, the fish are free to roam. The entire undersea world is their home. But none dare swim too deep where the water is black. For there, the dreaded Kraken sleeps in a deep crack. No fish will disturb him. Not one, not a bunch. Why wake someone up who would have you for lunch? But there is one who is not afraid, and he is not a fish. He is a sperm whale, and the Kraken is his favorite dish. Near Aquaria is where you usually find this whale, and the undersea city is where we will start our tale. The magic city was made of coral, wood, and glass. In it, a coach was teaching beginners swim class. Blowing his whistle, he yelled at the girls and boys. "Okay, you guppies, clam up and cut out the noise." Earlier, we learned how to spot and avoid troubles, and we practiced floating and blowing bubbles. And now the time has come. Here is the scoop. For the first time, we'll swim, and we'll do it as a group. "All together now," the coach said, "and don't be a fool, for it is always safest when you travel in a school." And a finer class would be hard to find, except for one fish who was falling behind. His name was Seymour, and try as he might, he just couldn't get this swimming thing quite right. The coach's eyes bulged and the smile left his face. Down below, he noticed Seymour, who was not in place. "You there, playing in the mud," he said with a shout. "Get up here and join us, and stop floundering about."
"Floundering?"
asked Seymour.
"Oh, no, sir, I was not. I am just trying to do what you just taught. Moving my fins and tail up is where I want to travel, but I just can't lift off the bottom's sand and gravel."
"Try harder," he said, "or your chances of passing are slim, because there is no room around here for a fish who can't swim." Seymour's classmates began saying things that weren't nice. "He is a fish," one laughed, "who needs a flotation device." Poor Seymour couldn't believe his ears. He tried, but could not hold back the tears. The coach yelled, "Leave him alone! Class is over. Everyone go home. Soon we will start training for the big fish race, and I know everyone wants to come in first place. And Seymour's chances look slim, for he is a fish who just can't swim." Seymour crawled off, wiggling through the mud like a snake. Headed out of Aquaria, he left a trail in his wake. He needed someone to talk to, for he was sad and blue. So he went to visit Doug the slug and a crab named Lou. Doug and Lou lived near a small, sandy depression. Seymour could count on them for a cheering up session. Despite their differences, they got along well, for, unable to swim, they were all trapped on the sea floor.
"Hi, Seymour," Lou asked. "What do you say? How are you? And how was swim class today?"
"I couldn't swim and was teased,"
Seymour said, sighing.
"So at the end of class, I crawled away crying."
"Wow, I'm sorry," Doug replied, full of sorrow.
"I've decided,"
Seymour said,
"that I'm not going back tomorrow. Quitting school is what I have decided to do."
"Seymour!" a voice yelled. "This is where I find you?" Seymour's father was floating above him. "Your coach," he said, "just told me that you can't swim. And the reason why is plain to see. Your friends are bottom dwellers, and that shouldn't be. They are a bad example, crawling through the mud and slime. Any fish who hangs out with them is committing a crime."
But Dad,
Seymour cried.
they are my two best chums.
His dad said, "Stay away from those bottom-slinking bums." Seymour's father grabbed him and swam away. Our poor pal did not know what to say. "Seymour's dad," Doug said, "shouldn't come down on me and you. It's because of us," he told his pal. "The sea floor looks so new. Up early, we clear away the rubbish and trash. And our reward? We are disliked and bashed."
And bottom-slinking bums,
Lou added.
not you and me. We are just the garbage men of the sea.
Night fell and everyone in Aquaria was fast asleep, except for Seymour, who stared out at the deep. He decided to skip school and hide out instead.
I just can't take the teasing any longer,
he said. The next day, our pal headed off across a muddy plain. Sneaking past school, he crawled over the sticky terrain. Crawling was hard. Seymour kept getting stuck in the goo, but unsticking himself each time, he would start anew. Reaching a ledge, he thought perhaps he should not be so sad.
maybe
He said,
being unable to swim isn't so bad.
Sitting, he knocked some rocks over by accident. Over the mountainside, and down they went. The rocks fell down toward the Kraken, the giant squid. At first, they almost missed the beast, but hit him they did. The giant Kraken swam upward faster than fast.
Whoever dropped these rocks
He said,
has seen his last.
Seymour didn't see the squid appear behind him. He was busy talking about not being able to swim.
I will be slow.
Seymour said.
I won't be fast, but I will get where I am going even though I will be last.
Then the Kraken let out a laugh from behind. His terrible voice sent a shiver up Seymour's spine. Turning, Seymour saw the squid and almost passed out.
A fish who can't swim?
The monster said with a shout. Our pal couldn't escape. The mud clung like a cast.
I'm afraid.
Seymour groaned.
Crawling isn't very fast.
The squid grabbed Seymour and called him a scaly creep and told him what the penalty was for disturbing his sleep. Then the Kraken spotted Aquaria and said without remorse,
Why bother with an appetizer when I can have the main course?
Dropping Seymour, he said that it was a pity that our friend couldn't swim to warn the city. Seymour's mind said, "Go, go, go!" But he was stuck in one speed. Slow. Then in a flash, the Kraken swam away. Left behind, all Seymour could do was pray. The Kraken told the fish not to run. It was too late.
I've a spot for each of you
He laughed.
on my dinner plate.
But the Kraken's plan went astray as the mighty sperm whales saved the day. He quickly swallowed the squid and then, just as quickly, swam away. Seymour saw it all. He was glad, but with himself, he was mad. If not for the whale, Aquaria would be just broken glass. And all because he quit swim class.
But,
He said,
no more being a fool. Tomorrow I am going back to school.
Seymour was back in class, true to his word. The teasing wasn't anything he hadn't already heard. Blocking his ears, he tried harder than ever. Would he quit this time? No way! Never! Seymour's dad helped his son too. He even apologized to Doug and Lou. Seymour was first to class each day and last to leave. The slug and the crab were there to help him believe. The long days didn't bother Seymour, not him. And before long, he was finally able to swim. Then came graduation and the big fish race. And just guess who took home first place. Seymour won and showed me and you that there isn't anything you can't do. The end. Click to subscribe. Visit back soon for our next adventure.